So, in this video, we're going to continue talking about compound inequalities, okay? And when we have a compound inequality, there's two types. There's the or type and the and type. And we've kind of gone over these a little bit. The word that goes with or is the union, because when we have an or statement, it's the joining together of those two statements. X is less than 3 or x is greater than 10. We join together all the numbers less than 3 and all the numbers greater than 10. And the union has this U symbol as a shorthand. And for an or statement, for an or problem, we need to make at least one of the statements to be true in order for the actual or statement to be true. Then with and, the word that goes with and is intersection. Okay, numbers greater than 3 and less than 10. All right, that's the intersection of those two sets of numbers. It's those numbers between 3 and 10. Okay, the intersection symbol is the upside down U. And for an and problem, both statements must be true. So let's do a couple examples here. All right, in this one, I see 2x plus 7 is less than 19, or, because that union means or, negative x over 2 plus 5 is less than or equal to negative 3. So I'm going to solve both of these separately to get my two statements here. So we'll subtract 7 from both sides. I get 2x is less than 12. Divide by 2 gives me x is less than 6. Or, and now I go on this side, my first move, make sure you're noticing this, the first move is to subtract 5 because the fraction is only under x. Okay, if the fraction was the whole thing, then we would have to multiply first, but the fraction is only under x. So I'm going to subtract 5 first. I get negative x over 2 is less than or equal to negative 8. All right, now to get the x alone, it's negative and it's over 2. So I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 2. And what that'll do is that'll cancel out both the 2 and the negative. So I get x, but I multiplied by a negative, so if I switch the sign, is greater than or equal to negative 8 times negative 2 is positive 16. So there's my inequality statement, and that's part of my answer. X is less than 6 or x is greater than or equal to 16. Now I'm going to pop those numbers on my number line here. 6, 16. Try that again here. 6, 16. Okay. X is less than or equal to 6. So now what I need to do is make my truth table. And when I do that, we'll make this the shorter version in this video. Okay. Remember, I need a number in each section. So I'm going to need a number in the red section here. I'm going to need a number in the blue section. I'm going to need a number in the yellow section. And then I also take both the tick mark numbers, so 6 and 16. So in here, I'll pick, let's see, smaller than 6 is 5. And then I use 6. And then in the blue section, maybe I'll go with 10. You can pick any number you want there. 16 is a tick mark. And then yellow is 17. Okay, so there's the 5 numbers I'm going to try. And what I need to do, because it's an or statement, I only need to make one statement true. Only one true statement. Or at least one. Let's fix that. It should say at least one. Because if you have two true statements, that's okay also. So at least one true statement. Okay, so when I plug 5 in, do I get a true or false? Let's see. So when I plug 5 in, is 5 less than 6? Yep, so it's true. Because I already got one true statement. I don't even need to keep going. Okay, then I check, is 6 less than 6? No, that's not true. And 6 is not bigger than 16, so that one gets a false. 10 is not smaller than 6. 10 is not bigger than 16, so 10 is false. 16, not less than 6, but it is less than or equal to 16. So 16 is true, okay, because it made this inequality true. And finally, I get to test 17. 17 is also bigger than 16, so that's true. Okay, so then we go back to my number line and I label each section as either true or false. and I'm going to shade where the trues are. So let's see what color. Let's use yellow. Okay, so for 16, actually here, we're going to do this, gray. 6 is false, so it's an open circle, and then, but it is true to the left, so I shade to the left. 16 is true, so I fill in the circle, and then to the right of that is true, so I shade to the right. And there's my solution. And finally, I need to do interval notation. Okay, for interval notation, I label negative infinity to the left and positive infinity to the right. And I shaded, my left section is parenthesis, negative infinity to 6, parenthesis, because it's an open circle, and I use union there. Union, bracket this time, because it's filled in circle, 16 comma infinity, because I'm going left to right here. So there's negative infinity to 6 and 16 to infinity. Okay? Let's do one more example. Here in number 2, this one is an and problem, because that symbol there means intersection, so this is and. So let's solve both of these real quick. I'm gonna, if you want, pause the video, try it out on your own, and then I'll put the answer up here in a second. Okay, so after you go through the solving of it, all right, you get x is less than or equal, or greater than or equal to 4, and x is less than 11. All right, double check when you solve this one on the right, you didn't lose your negative x, and then when you divided by -1, you got to switch the sign. Okay, so now I need a truth table and a number line. So the number line goes out, and my two key numbers are 4 and 11. All right, and then on my truth table, x, TV, let's make it a little longer here. All right, I've got my 3 sections. I've got the left, I've got the middle, and I've got the right. Okay, and so my numbers that I'm going to use, let's see. On the left, I could go with 3. Then I have 4. Then I have somewhere in the middle 7. Then 11. And finally 12. So those are my 5 numbers. Okay, here I need to make both statements true. Both true. So I got to get both of these here to be true for each number that I plug in. So when I plug in 3, I right away notice that 3 is not bigger than 4. So because I'm not making both of those true, I can give 3 a quick false. 4. Is 4 bigger than or equal to 4? Yes. Is 4 less than 11? Yes. So I made both true. So 4 gets to be true. 7. Let's see. 7 is bigger than 4, and 7 is less than 11, so that's going to be true. How about 11? Well, I know it's going to be bigger than 4, but it is not smaller than 11. 11 is not smaller than 11, so 11 is false. And just knowing that, 12 would also be false, because 12 is not smaller than 11 either. Okay, so I've got my new truth values here, so let's translate them to the table, or to the number line. We've got false, true, true, false, and false. Okay, so on my tick marks, I need some sort of circle. So for 4, that's true, so I fill it in. For 11, that's false, so it's open. And then I'm going to shade in between. Okay, so my answer is that yellow shaded area, and my interval notation goes bracket 4, left to right, comma, 11, parenthesis. All right. Thanks for watching.